Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. These are 3 papers written in September and December of 2014. My sons of Syria. Power is not a visual item. Power is hidden by God. There are symbols of the mechanisms which turn energy into tunnels of power. There is an appearance about the control of many townships and cities and base and institution in Syria. It is not a sign about power. The controversy is in fact not an argument, because the Syrian Ba'ath Party has done so many acts which destroyed the constitution of the state of Syria, and finally the last one which they must be put on account. It is the sovereignty of Syria, which they had been protected by the international community with, out of the indignity and weakness of the representatives of the United Nations. But now, finally, the line of defense has been invaded, and the gravity of the breach is that ballistic missiles and aircraft bombers are trying to have a say in the destiny of the people. People are stronger than explosive technology. The people did not concentrate their willpower. Neither the unruliness of the Ba'ath Party's private defense and their shabiha, nor the oppression committed by the gang of Nuri al-Maliki and their Dawa party, nor the sophisticated offense technology are strong enough to preside over God, when in fact they are too weak to resist the temptation of evil. The power of a group of people has been historically measured by its size, therefore in the number of persons acting within the group. It is a historical phenomenon simultaneously that the smaller and well-organized subsets of any group have a propensity for taking control over the group. The total inputs across the group must be collected into some cohesive plans for action. The archaeal reason for this is the faculty of decision and action. The tendency of the flow of energy to be hierarchical is a natural primitive of the activity. Thus, it is the layer of action potential and collection of inputs that represents the tendency of transition in the framework of size to represent the power in a group, so that small subsets get opportunities for driving more action. The power of the group must conform to the rule of size because the influence of humans' potential to control action is very large. The thresholds are at a difficult-to-reach standard that small subsets can, via technology, counterweight the power of size. Quantity continues to be proven the most powerful asset. The primal reason for forming apex of power is fear of damage. The motive to build asymmetrical power is generated and sustained by fear of damage. With the continued presence of the fear of damage, it is certain to make a natural unconscious inclination for unilateral modes of action taking, and the development of unilateral action modes based on fear of damage. Compounded, it is clear that there is a tendency for hierarchy by collection of inputs, and while presence of fearing damage, there is a motivation in developing modes of unilateralism. While we understood size to be the dominant factor in group power, we observe that the building itself does not promote expressions of the group's action power via its dominant power factor. In a practical form, it is apparent that the group is spending excessively in the waste of its energy potential. The real power is not being effectively used. In the name of Allah, Al-Qudus, the Pure One. Every state is looking at opportunities to expand the domestic profit and the growth of productivity. The administrating party does not look at development as an infrastructural project because administrators are foremost interested in investment via finance. The fiscal strategies and the use of the national budget for domestic purposes and the export market that steers the strategies are the most powerful are more powerful for driving the selections. An administration that loves his country are held in high office to represent the finest patriotic spirit of the nation. Their days and hours are spent on behalf of the people of the country. When an administrator makes claims about dedication and tries to show steadfastness about a belief, this is not a symbol of real patriotism. The man who refuses to resign and the man who relentlessly seeks high offices are not symbolic of real patriotism. Mohammed Morsi is no patriot, and his protest has nothing to do with the love for the people of the nation. Neither Field Marshal Abdel Fattah el-Sisi can be said to be a true patriot, because patriotism is not about selective accountability. The meaning of patriot is that a man knows the sons of the nation require the indemnities of the fatherland and depend on its success and provisions. Allahu Akbar.